Hey everybody, and welcome to PlayStation Vita Weekly, Episode 6. We're going to be talking about a lot of the new upcoming games that were announced this past week or so. But with me always is Steve-O. And Steve-O, why don't you just go ahead and jump into some of these games. And by the way, I'm Adam, I forgot to say, but go ahead and jump into these games.
All right. A couple of good games got announced over the last couple of days. I got some notes here. I want to talk about this game called Soundscapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a launch title for the Vita, but it got pushed back. It's another game similar to Mutant Blobs. It's an indie game that's going to be a PSN title for the Vita. It's kind of a hybrid between a platformer and a musical game. Basically, from what I saw in the videos of the demo, you're a little blob-like character, and
Yeah, you are.
you jump around and you collect these notes, and it's playing these notes that you're collecting, and you go around, and the more notes you collect, the more music you can make. It actually has a music sequencer built in, so you can make your own music, like a kind of a level editor type feature. It looks really good. I'm excited about it. It seems like another really cool PS Vita exclusive game that is going to be a must buy.
Yeah, I saw the video of that game, and it did look very intriguing. It's the way that they were doing everything. I was just like, okay, this is neat. And at first, I had to watch the video like 2 or 3 times to fully understand what was going on.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those games I think is going to have a very cultural type following to it. People are either going to love this game or they're just not going to get it or understand it. So far,
Yeah.
from what I've seen, it's going to be one of those games I'm going to have to pick up as soon as it's released. It looks amazing.
Yeah,
And
there's not really any news on the release date. All I could gather is that I did read that it was supposed to be a launch title. Now that tells me that it's probably close to being done, and it'll probably come out really soon.
yeah, what's
So
what's another one of these games that's going to be coming out here shortly?
today I read that Zen Studios, the people behind Pinball FX for PlayStation and Xbox 360, are bringing out an Avengers pinball table expansion for those games, but they'll also make the Avengers pinball table a standalone item for the Vita. So you pinball fans out there are going to want to jump on this. I have the Marvel characters pinball tables on my Xbox, and let me tell you, I spent a lot of time on that Wolverine table. It's awesome. But every the pinball games that Zen Studios makes are just awesome.
Yeah, I think don't they have one out for the iOS?
Yes, they do. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I played, and it was very good. And I'm really excited to hear that it's coming to the Vita
Yep.
because that's one
They're
thing we
they're
are
great at
missing
making
is
pinball tables. So
yeah, we're missing a lot of these little off the wall titles right now that you see on other platforms, and I'm glad to see somebody starting to step up and bring them out to us. Which I think I didn't mention this. I think the beta for the SDK is going to be released in April. Which once that gets out there, we actually see a lot more indie developers out there trying to see what they can do with this Vita, which is going to be very interesting to see how pricing goes on the store.
yeah, yeah, they'll probably put out all kinds of cool apps.
Oh
Not
yeah.
having the SDK out doesn't only open up the door for gaming; it opens up the door for all kinds of neat apps
Oh.
and stuff that they can do
Hmm.
with it.
Yep.
Um, Another little piece of news here that I read today is the Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes game that was scheduled for the Vita has been announced to be a free roaming game now. The original Lego Batman and most of the Lego
You're freezing.
game series have been linear games. You just froze as well. Guys, just ignore that. We're having some internet issues today. But
We're
yeah,
out of sync right now, so
yeah,
we'll
you,
keep on going with it, guys.
yeah, we'll keep trying here. Most of the Lego games that you guys have played have been linear games where you're along a path and you're not allowed to deviate from that path. But this is big news. I mean, a free roaming Batman style game, kind of like Arkham City with Lego characters, seems kind of awesome to me. And this will be out on the Vita. I mean, I'm way more interested in it now than I was before. I probably would have played it, but now that I know that it's free roaming, I love those type of sandbox games. So this is right up my alley.
Yeah, I haven't been too big of a Lego player. I think Lego Harry Potter just came out like years 5 through 7, I think it is, on
Yeah.
the Vita. But I haven't been that big of a Lego fan game wise. I played the Star Wars ones. I loved them. This one caught my attention, and
Yeah.
it's got Superman in it, Batman, and Robin's in the trailer from what I saw,
Hmm.
and it just looks awesome.
Well,
I definitely want to play it.
the title itself is Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. That
Yep.
tells me that there's probably going to be some awesome cameos in there from all types of superheroes from the DC universe. So that'll be awesome. No launch date on that. GameStop and Amazon both have conflicting dates, and none of them are street dated. So I don't want to give you guys a date on that, but it's supposed to be out by the summer. Another game that's coming out this month is Silent Hill Book of Memories. It has a street date of the 27th, so it's coming up very, very soon.
Yep.
Silent Hill games are, similar to Resident Evil. Anybody who's familiar with those games, they're basically survival horror games. In my opinion, the Silent Hill series has kind of taken a bad turn lately with some of the next gen console games. So I'm hoping that this game is better. We'll have to wait and see, but I do have high hopes for it. I think a survival game on the Vita, a survival horror game on the Vita, will do quite well.
Yeah, it'd be I think the first one of this category too, right? There's no
Uh,
survival horror yet.
no,
Yeah,
not
so this would
not
be the first
not
one.
yet. So
So
I'm sure there'll probably be a Resident Evil game in the future, but Silent Hill's going to beat them to the punch. Let's just hope that it's not too rushed.
yeah, I'm with you on the Silent Hills of this current gen has been pretty bad.
Well, I mean, they just came out with Downpour like last week, and it is getting horrible reviews right
Yeah.
now. People are just destroying that game, and I'm not surprised. I mean, the one before that one was terrible. I mean, you can go to your local store and buy that for $5 in the bargain bin. It tells you how good it is.
All right.
So,
And you got anything else on the upcoming games on your side?
Ridge Racer's coming out this month. I tried to
Red, it's,
download the
it's out.
demo. Is it out
Yeah,
already?
it just I think it was released this week with
Okay,
AR fighters or yeah
that's
AR.
right. They put a demo up on the store, which I downloaded because I wanted to try it. Turns out the demo is just a glorified video that you can change the color of the cars. Don't download the demo; it's a waste of time. Save your memory card space. I'll probably end up picking up the game because I do like Ridge Racer, but I would have liked to have been able to try to play it before I bought it.
Well, I'm on the fence about Ridge Racers. From what I read, which could have been wrong information, but it's only 4 tracks, and then they do the reverse tracks. To me, that's for a $40 title. I think what it is, $40 or $30, whatever it is. That's no, it's 30 because I think it's 26 on the store.
Yeah,
I think
sounds
it's
right.
30. Um, to me, 4 tracks, even going reverse, I know it's almost technically speaking 8 tracks. That's not enough for me to actually say I want to plop down this money. If they come out with some DLC tracks, I might think about it a little bit harder. But
For only having 4 tracks, these cars better look like Forza or Gran Turismo because I mean we've seen what they can do with these games with the storage space they have with Uncharted.
yeah,
So there's no excuse for them to only have 4 tracks. I mean, unless the storage for the game card is taken up by awesome graphics, which from what I've seen, they look good, but they're not. I mean, I don't understand why they couldn't do more than 4 tracks if that's all they have.
yeah, that's what I read and that's what I heard. So I kind of stepped away from it a little bit. I was looking forward towards it, but I think I'm just going to wait for a price drop on it. If it is true, I have to actually do some digging. I'll report back to actually figure out what I find out. But so far, it's just I was kind of hyped about it. I was like, Ridge Racer, okay, this is one of your best drift racers out there, and for it to only have 4 tracks, just kind of kills it for me.
Yeah, but I mean, for now, I think after this month, till probably about May, we're going to see a dry spell on Vita games. May's going to be awesome because we got Resistance coming out and a couple other AAA titles are coming out finally.
Resistance.
They're looking at maybe a June release for Little Big Planet. They got pushed back again, but enjoy what's coming out this month because they may have to hold you over for about another month. So, but we got some good stuff coming. Hopefully, Silent Hill won't suck too bad.
Yeah, and just a little update on because I did buy a crap load of games. I think I'm up to 12 now, but And that's actually card-based games. I'm not doing the downloadable games yet, and the reason is I actually want a physical card I can swap in and out. I don't want to go out and buy a $100 32 gig card and fill it up and buy another one anytime I want to buy a new game. That's just me though. But that's my reasoning behind it. But I did pick up a lot of games. I am traveling out to California for work. I gotta go out there and take some classes, but I will be out there for a week, and I'm gonna pretty much just destroy my Vita next week. That's all I'm gonna be playing is games, games, and games. So coming back, probably in the next episode, I'll probably actually have at least 2 to 3 full reviews of a couple of the launch titles, which I think might have been overlooked. But we'll get into those next time. One thing I do want to mention before we get out of here was another upcoming game, which was Samurais and Dragons, which I think is only going to be released in Japan at the end of this month from Sega. But this is what pisses me off about it. The game is free to download, but items within the game, which they haven't really fully stated, probably equipment, swords, weapons, all that kind of good stuff, and then probably even gold or some kind of currency in the game, you're going to buy. And this is a trend that we've seen like on the iPhone for a little while, where like GameLoft will let you get, the new Dungeon Hunter 3 for free, but then when soon as you start playing the game, they're like, buy this 99-cent starter pack or buy this over here, and they bug the living crap out of you to buy this stuff. And I don't want to see this trend on the Vita, and hopefully this is a flop. I'm hoping it's a flop. Steve, what do you think about that?
I don't know. I'm a fan of microtransactions to an extent. I don't like it when they shove it down your throat to where you can't basically play the game and get away from those, where you're constantly getting notifications within games saying, "Hey, you could have this right now if you gave us 5 actual real dollars." And it's like, come on, man. I've got 3 million in-game gold pieces, but I can't have the sword unless I give you 5 real dollars. I mean, I don't like that. I will admit that when MotorStorm RC came out, I paid the extra $1 and went ahead and unlocked all the cars right away because I knew this was something I didn't have a lot of time to spend on, and I wanted to play the game to its full potential. But they don't shove that down your throat. They don't force you to do this. Now, I think buying a game or being able to download a game for free and then only being able to have limited access to it unless you pay actual dollars is a bit misleading, and I don't think they should be allowed to do that. I don't think they should say, "Hey, this game is free," and then you download it and you're like, "I can't leave this room unless I pay $6 for the key to unlock the door." So I don't agree with that.
Like I said, I think it's coming out in Japan at the end of this month, and it's probably going to be one of those things that's going to be reported on quite heavily just because it is one of the first games to actually try to do this on the Vita. And I'm kind of interested in see what happens. In fact, the screenshots made me want to play this game because I'm a big Japan RPG type person. I'm like, all right, this game actually looks pretty badass. But at the same time, it's like, how good is this game going to be? If I spend 40 hours on it, I don't mind flopping down $20 on stuff I can download that I don't need in the game. But if it's going to be one of those games where I can just pick up and play for 5 minutes and say, okay, this is complete garbage, I don't want to have to put any money into it. And I really just hope they just give you that option. But like I said, I would not mind paying a couple of dollars just to get a couple of things if the game is really good, just to support the developer. And I never had a problem with that before. But on the iPhone, it's got overwhelming. It's like almost everything you download, even if you pay $5 for it these days, they offer you some kind of coin thing.
You know what? It's that way because people pay for it. Now, if you guys stopped paying for it, they wouldn't be able to do this. Now, if you don't like it, the best way to get rid of this and squash it before it becomes a big problem, don't buy anything.
Oh, yeah.
Hurt them.
And Steve-O, this froze.
The only way we can get to these people is through. Yeah, you froze too. But we're going
well, let's just wrap it up.
I just wanted to say, the best way to hurt these people is through their wallets. So don't support it.
All right, go ahead and take us out of here, Steve-O.
All right. Follow us on Twitter at PS Vita Weekly. On Facebook, like us at facebook.com/PS Vita Weekly. We'll get some gameplay videos up. Go check out our Mutant Blobs video if you haven't. And we'll see you next time. I'm Steve-O. That's Adam.
Later, guys.